No, I have to jump in. With great respect to you and your expertise, I have to jump in because the senator is now live and we want to bring him on the stream. Thank you so much. Let's go to the senator right now.
Never violated my public oath. I have never been anything but a patriot of my country and for my country. I have never, ever been a foreign agent, and the decision rendered by the jury today would put at risk every member of the United States Senate in terms of what they think a foreign agent would be. I know my attorney want to say something, and then I'll keep going.
Afternoon. We were surprised and disappointed with the jury's verdict. We disagree with it, and we believe today, as we have since day one, in Bob's innocence. There are grave appellate problems with this case and with this verdict, and we're going to pursue all appellate avenues aggressively, and we do expect he will be vindicated. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we have the opportunity to go back to Jessica. Jessica, I owe you a New York pizza for having to interrupt you, but we did want to let our viewers hear what the senator had to say. His attorney just saying there were grave appellate problems with this, and they will appeal. What could those be, and what kind of teeth could an appeal have, if anything?
So I think it's worth mentioning that this is what almost every convicted defendant says. It's not to take anything away from potential avenues here, but we're hard pressed to think of a defendant who says, no, that's the jury's verdict, and so I won't appeal. And I will also say that the criminal justice system really tends to favor finality. So an appellate process would not be, let's have another bite at the apple. It would have to be that there's some sort of error in the trial, like a jury instruction or evidence that was presented to the jury that should not have been there, or testimony that presented such a problem that it was not harmless error, but reversible error, so that you have to go to an appellate court and say, do something about this case. Again, I'm sure there are places where Senator Menendez will say the jury was improperly instructed or they should not have received this particular piece of evidence. But without putting my thumb too much on the scale, I will say there was a lot of evidence here. The prosecution told a solid theory of the case, and I don't think we should be holding our breath for a reversal on appeal.
Okay, so let's talk about timeline. If I'm understanding correctly, sentencing is set for October 29th. How soon would they have to file that appeal and start fighting?
So oftentimes you would wait for the sentencing and then you would file an appeal. There are situations where the trial court judge can decide to stay the sentence pending the appeal. Often that's not what happens. Often what happens is that there is a sentence, it is imposed, and the appellate process will play out while that person is, if there is incarceration, while that person is incarcerated. In this case, we know that some of the most serious charges carry up to 2 decades in prison. And so Senator Menendez could be facing significant jail time. You heard in that press conference that the Department of Justice did not respond when they said, are you going to seek the maximum? And my guess is that they don't seek the maximum because this is a first-time offense, but that there will be a request in the sentencing memorandum for significant time, because let's remember, there's a reason you and I are talking about this case. If we're talking about a senator who a jury has found abused his position of public trust for private gain, you want to not just punish the senator, but you want to make sure that you are sending a message to the rest of the country that this is not acceptable in this country.
Jessica Levinson, breaking it down, making it so that we can understand this. You used the term a bite of the apple. You're helping us to really understand everything and take a bite out of this case. We appreciate you so much.